Histograms are great ways to display quantitative data, but they do not show the actual data values. For small data sets, there is an alternative graph called a stem and leaf graph or stem and leaf display that lets us see all of the data values. Once again, I will be using the pulse rate data collected from my class of 23 students. The stem and leaf display works like the histogram, but it shows more information. To make the rows of the display, we look at the tens digit of each pulse rate. For example, for 91, we focus on the 9, and for 72, we focus on the 7. These become the stems of the graph. They are somewhat like the bends of the histogram. The stems are ordered vertically, starting with the largest at the top. To record the value 91, we simply put a 1 on the 9 stem. This 1 is called a leaf. And next we continue till we have exhausted all of the data. Then we go back and order the leaves from smallest to largest. Two very important features of a stem and leaf graph are first that we identify the studied variable. That should be part of our graph. So we're going to label this pulse rate. Then we need a prototype so that people can interpret our graph. We need to tell them that 9/1 means 91 beats per minute. At this time, we will identify one important feature of the graph, namely the modal stem, or the longest stem. It is the stem that extends from 70 to 79, and it tells us that most students have a pulse rate between 70 and 79. There is some flexibility in creating a stem and leaf display. If you think your original display is too crowded, that is, it has too few stems, then you can break each stem into 2 parts. The reasonable way to do this is to have the digits 5 to 9 on one stem and then 0 to 4 on the other stem. This will create a stem leaf display that is a little bit more stretched out and provides a little bit more detail. Once again, we find that somewhere between 5 and 10 stems makes for a good stem and leaf display. Our more spread out stem and leaf display has a modal stem that was in the 70 to 74 range. So we can announce that most students have a pulse rate between 70 and 74 beats per minute. In this last slide, I have put both the stem and leaf displays and the histograms side by side. Can you see the similarities? Rotate the histogram 90 degrees counterclockwise and you have the stem and leaf display. They have the same shape and the same modal stem or bend. The stem and leaf display gives us more information because we can actually see the data values. But unfortunately, the stem and leaf display is not practical when we have really large data sets.